Imagine you're a bandit settled in your camp, dividing the day's spoils among your cohorts. Life is good. And then you hear drums, clanging metal, a blood curdling battle cry. A party of adventurers is charging your camp, avenging the village you ransacked earlier that day. At their head is a man, no armor, wielding a great axe nearly as tall as him. The strong, tough, and arguably tankiest class in 5th edition, the Barbarian. Hi, welcome to Cozy Potato Games. My name is Dylan, and this is Class Cuisine, where we take a class. I offer my tips on fleshing out, flavoring, and role-playing your character. Now, normally I don't push for stats influencing your personality, but for the Barbarian, I make an exception. Because your abilities are almost entirely centered on combat, and one style of combat at that, I encourage you to take a second scan of your character sheet when drawing inspiration. Obviously, after strength, constitution, and dexterity in that order, I encourage you to think about your fourth highest ability stat, which probably won't be above a +1, unless you have really lucky rolls or a really lenient DM. That'll be one of the three mental stats: intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, which really influence your personality. For intelligence, think about a clever character, someone with a higher level of thinking. Not necessarily a higher level of education, just a high capacity. This is the strategist. He may actually ask questions first and shoot later. For wisdom, think about being alert, intuitive, and insightful. A lot of barbarians take wisdom just for the higher perception, but these barbarians may be more in tune with nature or even human connection. I suggest leaning into making your barbarian the meaty frontline tank and the beating heart of your team. If you choose charisma, this barbarian is intimidating. He could be a fear-mongering warlord, or a charming trickster, or an inspiring leader. This is the warrior with an indomitable spirit, an unstoppable force the party can truly rally behind. These are obviously just suggestions, hopefully inspiring you to try a barbarian that isn't just the big, dumb, bonk bonk stereotype. With stats out of the way, I really only want to focus on one ability here, and you already know what it is: Rage. Mechanically, Rage actually differs quite a bit from D&D to Pathfinder, unlike most other classes. However, I think the flavor and the idea of it are really consistent. You enter a battle trance, enhancing your abilities, pushing yourself past your limits for a short time. Typically, this is an angry, rageful rage. You channel anger into your attacks and are just too stubborn and angry to die. There's nothing wrong with keeping that idea and leaning into it for your character. And maybe dealing with that anger is part of your development. Maybe it's a righteous anger, fighting for a cause you are wholly devoted to. Or it's a blind rage, you legitimately black out and lose control in combat. Maybe it's not anger, but sheer determination, pure willpower. You fight till your last breath, and then keep fighting. The third suggestion I have is focus. Not a strong emotion, but the lack of one. You don't let your anger take hold. Not fear, joy, nothing. When you rage, it's just you, your blade, and your opponent. You rely on skill and determination to overpower your enemy, not just brute force. Keep in mind this is just flavor. Mechanically, he will function just like any other barbarian. But your roleplay, your overall gaming experience will improve if you just take a little time to sprinkle in some spice. Make the class and the character truly your own. Last note: appearance. The classic barbarian has fur clothing, a huge muscular body covered in tattoos, maybe some animal bones, and of course a big axe. Again, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I've done that. And if that's the route you take, I encourage you to flesh out some things. What significance do your tattoos have? Are your bones trophies or totems of protection given by the village elders? Your weapon can have special meaning too, but I think I'll save the bulk of weapon flavoring for the fighter video. For a level 1 character, maybe your trophy is from a low-level monster. Or it's a gift from an ancestor whose great deeds you hope to match. Last note. Technically, in the rules, a barbarian can wear light or medium armor and carry a shield, so don't shy away from making an armored barbarian if you really want to. With these ideas in mind, let's take that paper covered in numbers and turn it into a character. We got Barbarian, I rolled the Noble background, and a Silver Dragonborn. So let's type up a quick backstory for him. Crowrock the Bold was raised in wealth and privilege. He grew up hearing the stories of his father and grandfather on their grand adventures, slaying monsters and collecting treasure with their old adventuring party. Treasure that was the foundation of their vast fortune. Crowrock spent his formative years inspired by these stories. Despite his sharp mind, he felt himself drawn more to fighting than academic study. When he did open a book, it was for research, poring over maps, sorting through the facts or folklore of all monsters, learning about the dark forces that threaten the material plane. Through this, he found an ancient prophecy about a dark lord rising from the abyss through a rift in the plains. Crowrock didn't hesitate. This was his chance to prove himself, live up to his family legacy. He set out on the open road, his grandfather's sword and shield in hand. He believes he's destined to save the world. But the path is more challenging than he expected. He'll need allies to make it to the end. In combat, Crowrock relies on his skill and courage. He's boastful and arrogant, and he has these delusions of grandeur that make him believe he's stronger and more capable than he really is. His overconfidence can actually put his enemies on their heels, and his reckless attacks make him appear more skilled, further fueling his beliefs. Through the campaign, I hope for him to become more humble, to find true earned confidence in his abilities as a warrior. He wants to find the source of this evil and banish it once and for all, and to finally return home. Whether he will be welcomed as a hero or reprimanded for stealing his grandfather's weapons remains to be seen. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick view of the Barbarian class, and that you find inspiration for future characters. Feel free to leave requests and suggestions down below, and let me know about your favorite experiences playing a Barbarian or seeing one played. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.